What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a long-time WWE announcer fired, Raw's new announcer revealed, Taker teases a return, a dream match tease for Bobby Lashley, a big debut set for Double or Nothing, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at a new Raw announcer being revealed, as WWE hasn't wasted any time bringing in a new announcer on Raw following the departure of Andrade. Recall that Verk, who had no experience calling wrestling, didn't set the red brand on fire with his announcing, which led to the WWE deciding to pull the plug on Verk as an announcer. So who's taking his place? Well, none other than Jimmy Smith, who has called MMA action for promotions including UFC and Bellator, as well as co-hosting American Ninja Warrior. On the surface, this might seem like another instance of how Vince McMahon considers both sneezing and learning from one's past mistakes to be the mark of a lesser man. After all, Smith hasn't called professional wrestling before, or has he? Well, according to a report from Wrestling News' Paul Davis, it appears that WWE may have been grooming Smith for the job. WWE has previously bought Smith for some takeover pre-shows, and Michael Cole has been working with him, so it appears that the company was preparing him for an announcing role. Meltzer noted that Cole has given Smith a lot of praise and found him to be very versatile. As fans know, Vince McMahon is obsessed with bringing in announcers from other sports, which is why he brought in Verk and why Smith is replacing him. According to Wrestling News, Smith is very respected among MMA fans and he is familiar with the current wrestling product, so he should have an easier time making that transition to pro wrestling, but it remains to be seen how he deals with all the quirks that go along with being a WWE announcer and Vince McMahon in his ear during 3-hour Raw broadcasts every week. Smith tweeted about his hire saying, "Hey guys, well, it's been a busy day. Apparently WWE liked my work so far. I know I'm stepping into a new world. I was a Mr. Perfect and Bruiser Brody fanatic, however, but no, I'll do everything I can to honor the athletes and fans. Watch Monday and judge my work for yourself." Now, we aren't so sure, but like any newcomer, only time will tell how he fares on Raw, as hopefully he's watched some wrestling since the days of legends like Mr. Perfect and Bruiser Brody. The WWE has struggled to find a solid announce team on Mondays, and while the product itself is the main reason why fans continue to tune out, bad announcing really doesn't help. What do you guys think of WWE's latest hire? Will Smith succeed where Verk failed? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, some breaking news as a longtime WWE announcer has been fired. Now, add longtime WWE announcer Tom Phillips to the list of WWE cuts, as Fightful Select is reporting Tom Phillips was released from the WWE this week. Phillips was with the WWE for almost 9 years. Currently, there's no reason why WWE has fired him other than budget cuts, but we'll keep you updated. Next up, is Finn Balor returning to the main roster? Now, Finn Balor has been keeping busy on NXT after returning to the Black and Gold brand in October 2019 and going on to win the NXT Championship. However, Balor recently shared his thoughts on a return to the main roster. Balor appeared on Ryan Satin's Out of Character podcast and noted, "I grew up as a wrestling fan watching WWE, and that's essentially where I want to be performing. I feel like in my last run there, I wasn't doing myself justice and needed to change something. The change was NXT and I needed to figure out who I was again, and I managed to do that to some level, and I'm definitely hopeful that a return to Raw or SmackDown will happen in the future." If Balor returns to the main roster, it won't be because NXT is unhappy with him, as WrestleVotes is reporting, "Regarding Finn Balor, I'm told members of the Raw creative team have asked for him for months now. No edict has come out from the top yet yanking him from Orlando. The NXT crew adores Balor, so unless the main roster has major plans for him, I think he's okay where he is." While NXT may be thrilled to have Balor, the one-time Universal Champion could be a welcome addition to Raw or SmackDown. Where do you think Balor should go? Should he go back to the main roster? Next up, WWE Preparing For Sale? There's interesting speculation coming from Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer as he commented on WWE's recent cuts during an episode of the Wrestling Observer. There's going to be people with more work, but they wanted to cut the headcount because they're trying to increase their profitability, and that's, if I mean they're trying to set the thing up for a sale, that's a good thing to do. Now, we brought up a future WWE sale as a reason for their budget cuts during an earlier news video. These rumors are nothing new, as 2020 saw considerable talk of the WWE going up for sale, but that was until the pandemic hit. As we've repeatedly pointed out, companies are constantly looking for content. Recently, Amazon announced it's purchasing MGM Studios, with one of the main reasons being MGM's deep film archives. Do you think the WWE is prepped to go on sale? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Raw is in trouble. Ratings woes continue as the 24th May episode of the Red Brand scored the lowest rating of the entire year. According to a report from Wrestling Observer Figure 4 Online, Raw on Monday night averaged 1.62 million viewers and did a 0.45 rating in the 18 to 49, among the lowest numbers in the show history in each category. While the NBA playoffs likely sapped some of Raw's audience, much as Monday Night Football games do during the fall and winter, the Red Brand's atrocious booking hasn't helped bring in fans. Next up, Taker teases a return. Fans know never say never is the perfect saying for wrestlers who swear they are retired, so is it any surprise the Undertaker, who retired at last year's Survivor Series, is already teasing a return? Consider the following Instagram message from the Phenom, which included a photo of him exercising outside. When one door closes, another one opens. The game may be over for me, but the grind never ends. Considering Raw's terrible ratings, it wouldn't be a shocker to see The Undertaker return to the Red Brand, even if it's for an appearance to juice the ratings. Again, we're not saying that he's gonna wrestle, but an appearance is highly likely. Maybe for the return of fans at SmackDown in July. Next up, a dream match for Lashley in the works. Recent comments by current WWE Champion Bobby Lashley's manager MVP suggest fans might see a dream match between the Almighty and one of the biggest superstars in WWE history. You may recall Lashley has wanted a match with Brock Lesnar ever since Lashley's 2018 return to the WWE, and while that match hasn't happened, another dream match might be happening, one featuring Lashley versus John Cena. Cena recently discussed his desire to return to the WWE, and rumor has it that they want to bring him in for the first SmackDown featuring fans present. However, MVP made some interesting remarks regarding the 16-time world champion via Instagram, saying, "On behalf of the almighty WWE champion and the Hurt Business, we eagerly await your return." With Lashley on Raw, does this mean Cena might return to Raw for a program against him, perhaps leading to a match at SummerSlam? At this point, it's nothing more than chit-chat, but it could be one of the biggest matches of 2021. Next up, Randy Orton's funny tweet to AEW star. The Twitterverse can be a toxic place at times, especially when it involves wrestling, but a recent exchange between WWE's Randy Orton and AEW star Trent has made many fans laugh. In case you missed it, Trent tweeted, "I bought an Xbox controller that's the same color as my wrestling gear. Someone please shit in my bag, I deserve it." Randy Orton replied with a thinking face emoji, which brought back memories of some alleged behavior from the Viper early on in his career. And finally, a wild rumor, as a recently released WWE Superstar could be debuting at Double or Nothing. Could fans see a massive debut at AEW's 30th May pay-per-view Double or Nothing? Their event features a casino battle royal with the winner getting an AEW World Heavyweight Championship shot. Like many AEW pay-per-views, the company is teasing a surprise entrant for the match, and fans are already speculating it could be Daniel Bryan or Nick Gage. Meltzer also suggested another name, recently released WWE Superstar Andrade. The surprise, I don't want to say this because it may be someone not as good as this, or it may be later, or it may fall through, but we know they've been talking, is Andrade. If it's him and he wins, actually him and Kenny Omega is a great match on paper, but that's a Triple Mania main event, and that's in August. Andrade is already scheduled to face Omega at Triple Mania 29 on 14th August, but that's a match for AAA's Mega Championship. Who do you guys think will show up at Double or Nothing? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.